cái pa mấy tuần này về là năm tia dinga ikinep piu Dr. Selin hin ta ting le u aron hin emle langa tu u Paulin lal okay hin ta ting le Kuki pia president pu hin tu san hin wang hong hong zau hi lai ma hi travel ka boarding hi flight travel ding di in aboy me wang ta thai da jong le na be bridge in aki gel ko tu imin sa bridge ti ta bang ba he movement nei te hi jiwa tu gap ho hi thai na tu bridge boarding hi gap pa he a ting le hin de in alam kai to mi pi ti ka hi gap hong sao ting le hin tas deficit hi hong sang he ipi ipi boldong le trust deficit hi hong san ting le ha na lo se asu asu le sabi le bang dia ja tu tu na he Dr. Pu sei len hin le pu aron hin ama ni phat hom san hong za ve mi pi de in nam sungo na ngai do ne ti hi tu ne san no ve len phot ke hi nang ni sunga ti pa tu sei ven hong lu ding ge ho tu tu ma ti pa tu sei ven ai pi le sei bang tu tu lai ta hi mi pi hi dip ke dop lai ta hin ha ji chu mi pi la sei hi hi banga ki gen thaya hi banga ki thu gim ta jo ting le I thi ma no hi mo hung hi kha ding ham hi mit ta kip hi lung thima hin omen atu ta ting le mit jo se kinap na hi in a phone do jing bang ma hin separate administration ti lo ba ha dang ai chu kha dem ti yong hi mi ho look up kai na kha hin a hi bangin tu chung chun ki pam ta in MLA ho home ministry MLA ho to hin covid ai le cha chen MLA ho no ki chi ta na din now say win separate administration ti lo dang mà ta ông thầy lâu đi cho xe ở đây chúng ta chuẩn bị kỳ hung lùng mong đó mình thứ ba là chuẩn tu này ta chuẩn đặc tố xe lên rằng talk so national media họ talk so pangin very vocal and standing so firm in our demand to meet people say at the end in năm sung kêu là win và nơi phung pi hết dengan ang santa da phong do là meet people họ nó santa in nẹp nó chưa về lên kinep na tu avelin ang hat do kin Dr. Selen hin tele puaron nang ni tumang ki pa tu se selai hin Dr. Selen asai khan hi khat bein sim thang ting so ta te le Dr. Selen bi pat kan pe ni Dr. Selen asai our political demand is duty with legislature under article 239A. Government will oppose settlement within the existing state, which was also our demand. There is territorial council based on negotiation until 3 May 2023. Post 3 May, we have upped our demands to UTV legislature because we have been chased out of INFA. In subsequent days, months, and into the current year, we face unrelenting attacks. The latest being in October 2024, Bloomingdale School run by Reverend Sakum in Ziribam set to flames. It is not possible to turn the clock back. It is not possible to turn the clock back. We can only go forward with duty with legislature. There is no future going back to territorial council. Central government is on national media Kuki Zohon separate administration demand about he accept Ponte. He get pay Ponte the national media viral hodong. O min mi pi do si na mon. Aso tile mi pi ho na gel kha su SO hodong he do ting le territorial council ho po hong su khading ham ni lung he la ni he. So ai lai mona ga do no mu chu central government in adin mu chu ki ta separate administration ipithei Ponte atia hile. Central government had did nahi farm ta ding hin ang le. So group ho hin. What step are we going to take? The question is Dr. Pu is he ang tapinin din don.
anjo ka sei ban sam ga sei deng thil tam pita e bol go na macha du dai bol do lo sanga thil tham cha khat he kitup ta e bol la le progress um zo ti chu ka sei no me he in terms of our timing na to chu I khat e ho hen media yong I follow o chu le bridge yong de hia mi tang mo om phat le khat zoom session an bol ji ya update yong ki bol ji hen I had due to I had sao yong hin tin hai wa nga I ling lao loi kal ji ben I had sao che le SO extension a hi kat state government ze a ki boina lai hin sama sa chun hi chu extend ball loi a le dok hi gang ta a deal de tiu pula halo when go truk le moirang incident ji chun stall and hit get in ai le chiwa chu data sa MLA ko ko kedwa government hin uh, approach dan he UPF la ke no tun table a political dialogue settlement dinga negotiation uma ale MLA ho he as members of the community leaders elected representatives in achu same topic achu amo counterpart me le Kuki na go to ki mu pi sa go do hin he approach he in a dazing consultation here at various levels sading he an padwen kamun MLA ho ai ki chai le chun consultation he CSO ho yang unball de win ka ging chan in government are clear he chu political dialogue he UPF la ke no ki bol hin umbrella organization ni ai wanga chu settlement hi khat bo de hi ti hi abula ko na seu chi adin pi jing ho hin ali het ma bang wa chu two parliament session parliament tha hung ke han jo government tha hung jo hai same party hi ong le political dialogue hi resume ki bol lo lai ali demand la September 1st 2023 ni pelut tawin a response lo lai hin dialogue hi resume ki bol lo lai hin ala newspaper ha chu government so helwa newspaper house khaden article khat kohem khat ji a anso wa he the agency ho ti yo iti a chu government in kenol UPF demand chu ki pelo dang sei kha a dialogue resume lo lai a chu chichu na be sa chu news to me commercial enterprise hin media a chu thula la he lo wa he amo dinga newspaper trading lo de ai cho hi het khanu wa he le lung no pha na ding lo till he government of India and official anpon la wangchen la the news isim yo se ta san loading imu yo se ong he mu da lo de ti khat chui ge lo ngai chu la mi pi ki hol le ti tu chu alang khana gal lai hen koi chu ba gal lai chu ki hol dam e la koi le ai wa nga chu e demand u thua chu hiding ham he loading ham lam ka hon adin cha pi diu nam adin cha pi lo du nam ti he heng a sentiment chu mi hem hin a chu ilong gim je a chu ha chi confidence chu tham khat ling lao je bi nan tin ai wa nga chu a thu la he bridge on na bol bang wa media a kitu ma hang ke interview ho yong le in sei ji bang wa chi a he le gala hi yong le gala chu anum chu hilo aya chu lung kham ding na den mun chu dialogue la chu nei ding chu ngai lu hi hi ti ka sei no me he athu la chu koiman achoma sei pon I hazing a win MLA ho na achoma sei pon SO group na achoma sei pon civil society na achoma sei pon kitup ta ning kuma method ko na amasa pena MLA hon 12 May home minister pa kama representation na picho SO honang reinforceable la hi chu ki chi pi hin chi a chu helanga chun mi pi chun till hi information ki tu ma amu wa a hi le hilanga chu lung boy lo de ti chu ka sei no me le aya chu nam movement a chu organization ki tu ngai communication chu free flowing a hi ngai hi chuwa hi bridge ho bang chun gap ho chu a bridge chu til pha hin alang khana chu whatsapp mi usen nei le thu da lo yong hung ke ha se jin ya ni bang chun for example statesmen and news item haran show in center in SA demand he anum poi ti langa al content isim ha hi le mai re official khat MLA ho te kimuna chung changa cha ama comment hin government of Indian Kuki zo ho demand hi ki pe pon de tin he hoila ang ki sei khalo hi chi individual opinion le government notification chu het khan ngai government notification chu manipura chu hele vet yong vet ngai lo reject he hin center akuna hung hi wang chu ni ya he center in to a he imacha notification asu khalo lai ti chu he do hi a political dialogue content he so hon a phat dung ju ya update and ball hi chu UPF le ke non yang tu chunga MLA or chu dialogue tu hilo wang chun MLA ho ma chun requestable chu e ho pawa khat hung ki so hin MLA ho nang so be chi tai lu wang chun sa pawa ki ji khat 14 October a koi ji hi ke hello khat hung ki so hin he chu ke yong chun ka mu chun thil da ki ji dan cha ki che chat jing en ke chun ka gin mo chu eke misa so dam ta ka do le ke so he poi ke ho office ko na ke so he poi na ba nyong ka dong poi details we vet le sung lang inside information ne hon bo so the de hin hyong a thu chu phat ji chun aron le kein so ka na ka so lan to MLA hon an so pa ta chun hi chu bang communication ho chu a ki chi na omen ahin yan hi statement news ga say ga well quote kit le min padang to kamo to kyo le chu chan say a title just in the organ I may say to negative yeng a hin so ken yong a title bu chun sima a text na sim tam ka ti le a similar lai chu title can be very misleading na tla news a ki so chu is me say ta san de lo pi chu current happer to interview so that means you'll wait for 20 years like yes we'll wait 20 years ka ti chu literal ala loi dim se na chu khat milha milwana exposure ne ho delhi ho kisan yo you said you will wait for 20 years it's a figure of speech chong cho head khan thilo wala chu kilo ta ding it means we'll wait as long as it takes ti na chu kapang cha we ti na ya aya chu communication he abang le chun paul hema ki se ho I mean head hill na theyong ometi chu kaga apo do he adi poi ka ti na ichen chun to a question chu ko don bol na aba do mai le
I say function the way how we decode the message is very important. Atang pil decode the policy dan ai ma on understanding a decode the policy ni nama ding ang palo tam sa min le lam kai ho hang san ta ke falta phong ho ding long tu sei da ta ai ti lam mi piti han in head ding ka do la atul khat hi nan pas lo khat min what if the central government to the nan say the central government stands on the equality ju ka he the again central government separate administration to hit a lovely get in farm and moving the what is our next course of action?
Elijah chom chakhat nga don bring on political dialogue he resume lo la ki pat phal government and chawa cho pat na yong le e yong chun e din cha na pa cho from the upending chapal chun negotiation ki pan that chu de chu they will say this we will say that chawa chu ki kyo pan de chu chawa chu negotiation chi de chu he che say je wa chu e ho demand pe lo ding ya chu full stop ki chai ding ikile de ho lo pi chu meeting will begin with that ta assumable the so ai chwa ko na chaban chi de chu chwa chu aki chai de lo pi chu ai lo ai government chen ke ho ngai poi na demand u chu ka simo ben tu a he kapelo di heta foundation official ka se heta ati lawang chen, then we will look for then the situation is different. Chidung ya chu hon yang atu ti le ti kha chui sei diu chu hilanga chu nei do he lawang chen a theory ya chu aaron nong tamta idea nei ding ken nong khala ni ka nei ding hilang chu hi lo ya chu kan highlight hi chu he na ti lawang chen hung ki thol haning ka ting government ta cha pan cha khe le I ti dom ti chu sei khwa mo te
chỉ cho hiện của đó là dòng là nông dân hiện tại được bằng chỉ cho xây thế hiện đầu đi in cả là insider pana dòng tu kỳ giả đan tàu bạn đấy separate administration vàng gì home ministry dòng agar thế policy ta bằng họ dòng hết kỳ giả ta sẽ đúng ta apa này ya tu của đó là dòng tu doctor sẽ đi nó xây bàn itu government tu farm ta in official ta in declare hin bol le iti ikalson di wam ti ku aron ne min tayo admit ni ke bol le san pan te ko do ta ku aron ni
au me akimu e obo ki za hi line
admit ni ke bol ngani ta
and mood to bola chen po.
ken bol tang kan bol ta bol
Okay. Is the time right?
ke dai de
Okay. Taki pain dam nai piwa pathin thang tin tuni tha azong nam thu chu ting le idin mon hau isai ki dew hin the bridge ahen chu ting le pu he jang hin Dr. Silin hin ka ngai lu naw ka za naw ken phung do ma sein tuni tha hi ipi hi le ipanu isayu ki cho hi nam ngai lu na bo hung ki pang hi ti hi viewers so en lang meeting organized in bol hon jong ne het team pi di win khan team ma sai topic atun lut lew han to question and bol hi mi tam ta lung thima jing hi e ho ki daw haute ki hin daw ki hau alo thelo hin chiding le iki ka wa ki ta san tu lo na zong hi sanga hin between elected MLAs and public, between CSOs and public, SO groups and the public na ichi chu ang izaram khari hong chi tai tunia hi problem tam ta hi with the need solve bol khom ding a chu din muna ji wa hi problem hi athok thoma hum khom jin jong kamuin to ana sei hi ama sapena he diwa kadei chu mitam ta nam sunga nam mi pin jong separate administration hi ipiham ipiding ai sei hom iti wa hele idin munu chiting le I problemu I political issue manipura iboi now hi separate administration tailo solution dang poi ti ja chu idimanu MLA honjong ke ho jong Manipura elected MLA khat ki ya minister ki ya MLA ki ya security ka ne ya phai sunga yong save ka hi lo le ka public house it is save ding ham ka property it is save ding ta a thizong imba hung zam do wa in dal wa chi masanga yong so many incidents that has happened na eviction omen reserve forest issue tam ta omen he chose chu unless we have an administration of our own I problem hi quick fix solution ta poi ti chu hi hin a hin ka sei nom chu tunia nam sunga mi pi chu teng la lam kai tam ten ipiham I hepo ve ka ti na hepon separate administration hi thai de tai ti concept khat ineva hi cha government ki wa ichi dan wa ilaw wa hele di lo de ka ti no me ama sapena ihon separate administration tai lo hi Kuki tearing a problem hi solution dang ta poi ti chu imu che no hin government in iti amom ti chu tunia he nang leken jong ki hello hi adia Manipur government jong iti moham central government jong iti moham but the best part is we are in the negotiation table na iya chu chi a success loading ahi thei loading pa chu number 1 depends on our negotiation skills, number 2 and ground condition Tilkiti chu government to negotiate bolting le na het so ke in India movement tam ta hum tan to sim long he su ke vin state hindal ho chiteng la 6 schedule hindal ho koi ma cha hin a demand pa he government in hi chi hi thei di tai ta ki ho pi apat pon hung ki ho wa negotiate and bolwa they come to a settlement hi chi banga chu dunia jong ehon iti bolwa separate administrations itun diu ham ti pa zo hi chi process ai imui hi igel do diu ka de hi na sapena aji chu when there is a situation response to negative ham khat media report negative ham khat imu tingule e hole ki oi mo to gut pau hi chi adi poi ka ti no me chi bol win ka mui hi bridge i bol ngai hi nang le ke problem ai pon it's a part of the problem. It's a part of the process. Hichi phase on itip lo wahile, we will end up blaming na among ourselves. Hichi chui holding a hat na hilu hili. Opponent to government omen to think le hichi langa oppose a ball the community manipura ome. I mean to say he's on le. Community dang ho hindi holding a separate administrations. Koi misa num lowi. Central government jong chun problem to solve nothing a ki ho te ti hin separate administrations ka bol pi diu hi hung win ki ho tau te ti ni tu ni san ge ya there is no verbal na consent nor any agreement to achu problem iti solve dham tia ki ho wa ke no UPF in jong separate administration union territory with legislature hichichu mi pi dei dung re e bolo hin ai le tunia chu a question chu hichi government hi central government in if they are firm on their stand that it is separate administration UT chu hi thelo de ti tale ipi iti dio ham ti chu hiti mu ngai khilkhat chu without any justification ki thum thelo hi I problem is justify bolnading atu number 1 forest reserve forest protected forest kichi ho hi one of the major issues jo e hodinga TC ayong si bidinga TC2 kisaya mitiale I macha I need a requirement no I problem to compromise bolowa number 1 land chieftainship transfer of land ownership Sitting like number 2 forest na sitting like financial autonomy hi chi ho thum om thading a hi le TC jong le ka political issue to solve hi so ke ho to it's not the brand we are after na problem solving to ki dei hin TC a to iti le chi umdam government and you tell us ki ti to hi chi ta bang a tu ni a hi according to the constitution 7 schedule as if na le forest to concurrent lease cho I le state to center hai chu to state in concurrently se ja cho an bolta chu reserve forest or protect bolna dinga ai khang hiza na CM hiza hum ta problem in ei lo cho nam sunga hi tu chunga biren CM hung hi a BJP hung government hu ma hele ku ki te chen it so bang ba chu the last 10 years we've been facing this problem na ai le tunia chu hichi number 1 forest number 2 hill valley disparity chichu is there any other settlement that can resolve this problem now according to the constitution if you would need a financial autonomy you should have it's a separate administration hijing so 6 schedule on financial autonomy lo so yeah, to 6 schedule yung securing a solution ay po ikitijo unless there is financial autonomy. Ay number 3, tunia to custom culture tradition nungzi ato chieftainship hausa akivai hom te hiu so we cannot not ignore. Ay le ichi I hausa no ikun neo igam neo chu do I have to go to secretariat do I have to go to Imphal and say that na milio ko ma to register na bol pivin unless I tell nga secretary na chu e het pi to ko wa chu igam ne u chu legitimate hilo. That means challenge it holding our authority to. Hichi 3 reasons why we say that without separate administration, this problem cannot be solved. And according to the Constitution of India, so if there is anyone who can tell us without separate administration, he is only hichi problem solved. Let's listen to him or let's listen to them. We have a problem, a political issue to solve for our existence, for land rights, and for our survival, and to have constitutional protection. Hichi problem ho major thum to solve nading achu constitution dungzuyat ipiham. Separate administration unless UT or statehood ahi lawal hichi ho provisions kinai thilo so. Yeah, to negotiation achu unless the problem is resolved, how can we go to a settlement? So someone has to tell us. So as a government to help Ben here, they should tell us that yes, we can solve the problem like this. Dr. Sailenchu, you pay for spokesperson kahijo. Yes, we represent in the talks. But that does not mean we will compromise or we will agree to what they say if the problem is not resolved or if there is no solution to the problem. To government to help them to hidi so nomlo disu. But depends on what they are telling us, how they are telling us, what hichichu ki phalu lai so. To tunia ka say no wang chu. I problem hui constitution dungzu ya chu separate administration ahi lo le. There is no constitutional provision to have these rights, constitutional rights. Ahi le. To help them if they say that we have a solution to this problem, let's wait for what they're saying. In constitution so unless the constitution of India is amended. I problem according to the constitution solution constitutional provision nam ngai lut na chu nam na ki tong hin nam thalenga chu ki panga hin nam idin munwa chu solution ahi lawa hile. We're not going to come back saying yes to them without bringing the solution. Jawang chu hichi question hi mi pin hiti chu igel livin ka de somnam da
Waronin tổng sa kaga highlight belum tu mana say so we are not after the brand but we are after the problem to be solved. Chichu hindi ta long na brand to that hi problem. Ibo ina pa to solution ubding pa to kide hin chi dung ju to government chun adin na khat na to adin that ta ong chi dung ya to kepila din ni. To ta ting le so Dr. Puhin nang mehin an say no na chun separate administration to based on the ground situation. Dito si masanga na sa ibang watu TCR din ato and in the point ba even forest yan lang land yan lang financial autonomy and din ato TCR to legal sa batia a situation from Part-1 ato a situation basis ato separate administration na yung tuhin ahile tuhin a situation he the webs or the tide has been changed. Normalcy he who think about time to him. Amasa amongan tampa to him, nasa tanong kilata. In kihal to nam tapon, if kap to na hang pi to namusa tapong tapon. Ahile. Normalcy he to din munahin. May they ho kichip dan long he. Lam ka lang mo mo nga ipiga kap dut bang tam ho long to. Piha anle to tapon. Ipi asu ging bang dan le tapon. Tutile. Mo no strategy hi unshare the pong dum ta is it on to I had central commercial to MLA hona say banga to Infal Valley is a valley of death for us actually look take province so starting the facilities access take province so starting la ken kalo ai han ki win has an attack able hichi basis atu demand strong tai pu so hin ale tu hi so hi hung dai thagam tan ai le hung dai han lang normal shi ta bang hi hung ta hen lang le how would our demand become so strong in this regard itun doctor ta puaron na sai ban hi tu puaron ne si in ban nang do ta tel ban tu si ki
Okay. Tona say true. Okay. Kahet hillo le na say dan to looks like we are asking separate administration because our houses were burned or we cannot stay in Imphal. Kichichu, I think that is a little too sentimental. Kagel do khadumin. Biren Vietnam lozia mail hete Vietnam lozia to separate administration. It whom we lechun. I think that can be challenged, na.
Aditu puaron ta ta hulu ben ka aditu masanga tu amusa tu statehood and home statehood apa dan TC hulu yang sakit ben na TC ading atu sama tu ha anum tai ti ben ade me 3 apa na tu eso honjong
I got it.
la memang kami tu hong ki na yang mele honjong apa na tu hong ging to hi jatu achu ti le jo ti la normal shi hong ki le han tu strong dong dio tham ti tu
Pues hichi hi mi piso sendong head to we had come across a situation which na may te to hi chana he boy nai nei khalo jo but ipui pau khanga ko na thinglangama ichen wa itu phawa Manipur statehood masanga if I hope now ipui pa house nagam Chutingle Manipur provisions on even the hill area is specially administered. Na hill area to valley to akistit now ma provision constitution ang hichu. Ahile ehozong hichichu iti dinga ahile movement to the demand thing noi oi punelun khanga ko na even na ahile arm movement ipidinga ki panham itile Kuki National Assembly ho na umin memorandum an pivin to the first Prime Minister of India na ai le hichi methona tu ithelo phana arm movement bol ngai tia MNFA na pang our forebears amo an advice and bola founder pu nelun in KNF the first armed group 1987 armed group ma movement an bol jo hichi demand on to Kukilen chu it's a separate state na TC Hills is a separate state. However, hichi negotiation atu ipidinga TC chan isai hom itiale. Hichi gal hi mele teto in a nilo laiucho. What I mean to say is hichi emotional ipia kihenapa hi ana umlo statehood imu wazong pu the first MP na pu paukai. Amazon Manipur thalenga outer MP hin aile provision thinglanga ding and bolivin to thinglanga provision chom omin itia hi hill and valley mele otachun hill and valley like hilni ki gom khom ta bangai hing chen so we thought if a problem to within the constitution hichi process achu aki solve thading ahile itiwahin but hichi solve mala in hichi government in they've enacted some laws which has challenged our existence our authority over land na and hichi also ahin bolin hichi chungchu na chun gal in bol khumuvin eithat novin nampuin khoi veng wa sumanguvin ai chunga kunin na chen thelo diu hi chen kom thelo diu tin eidel do ovin ai chunga can you remember the first 2-3 days lampi lamle na tilong chu gan chang ti ki that lo so then gal hi in do win igamu in hu win tu ni a hi hu zo now bo hi igamu hi ta I chen thi zo some areas we have left to a hi ida han ho yong chu igamu hi ta inung logo nu cho hi chi chu hi ale just because this violence level has gone down. Do you think na idimanu so the memories will automatically go away or get wiped off? Hichichu namsunga chu hitiachu ichi imanu itu ho chu sumilthea. Why in the first instance why do we ask for separate administration? We cannot forget what happened to us, what they did to us, and what this government has adopted. Hichiji achu kata Pove, Manipur government it will always be in the interest of this one particular community because of 40-20 arrangement. Secondly, because of the authoritarian Ottoman ipiha CMA hila de boltheham ti khadna imazusi ki bola financial yong chiting hichitung chuna e pau so gam edel do ai la piu capital ang ichen kom thelo ta edel do so and hichichu ikeu to ki panai tan at least to the leadership, to all the leaders, this will always remain. That they say Chinese wear to you can man it even after it is broken, but the crack will always be there. Hichichu tunia hi kilhasam kichim hi zongle aching pen chu nam sunga ki hi zongle nam thalenga chu government ki howa hin. We can never forget that. Here chu violence level chu akital ha achi ha mana chu nam lam kai ho chun kichi sentiment I requirement pau isu mil dia wala I think e ho hinlal na hiding hi chu. And namni pizo syndrome, the violence level that was on May 3, May 4, and first 3-4 months would not be the same. It's just violence to government and control and good thing. Control hung hi ding hi. But it has happened. We can never forget that. How can you go and trust these people again? Nah. Hin. Yeah, so violence level are down manatu, negotiation down ding, demand down. Hichichu hitiachu igielova hile chewang su di pontin, and in the meantime gamle chu tunia hi hinghangam chu huilai chu force aidel the owa ato bhavam. It has become our responsibility now gam chu huding iti wa hile ida na ho long chu ile chikin wai to phongai chu. If the violence again erupts, then we have to face it. Nah. To mo chen galain bolu che o king lo sei del ole veng tam tai da ho cho. He chose to ne violence level hum ki tal ha hi a condition chi pia mi le gam ilu ki nu ngai cho. To ile lo na cho. Chiting iboi pi na cho. Violence, if it again starts, then we should be, ready to face it. And violence to start increase, movement, I think we should live with it.
Yeah, I would like to come back with the same questions to Dr. Sailin. Who Sailin, lang in zong national media and lang media on a case na low you're justifying the demands of separate administration based on the ground situation. At the other, Montina, he say now long mean upon that say, so that in the means a rationale behind to accept about it to him. So until he went it is the situation is almost linking back to normalcy. How would you strategize your next move? First, second, kita bang sila hintika ba din mun hipang khota lai ba government e ho kilo ba negotiation to ki pat lo iti like panding negotiation ki pat thene na ti step ila do itu da ko lenin min sai